Good afternoon. We'd like to take this time to welcome you all here for the this event that we have going on. We do it every year, and we want to make sure that the citizens and the families understand that we want to honor and recognize the things that they've gone through throughout this year. Today is a different day, and we all have been grateful to see it. But along the way here, we've had those who have lost loved ones in domestic violence, traffic accidents, and overdoses. A lot of times I believe that we forget about how precious life is and how many tragedies at times, how tragedy may come through and actually change all of our lives or individual lives. So we want to take this time to honor each of the people who have left loved ones here, their family and their friends. We want to also make sure that they understand, the family and friends, make sure that we're doing this in the honor and a way to bring a holiday remembrance throughout this holiday season with their loved ones that they've lost. Former traffic safety stats are published on one time per year. In 2019, the 2019 stats is not included in these here as of this point. But those who have died in traffic accidents reflect the 2018 year. Those who died from overdoses and domestic violence reflect the current 2019 year to date. Within Guilford County, we have lost 62 individuals that have died from traffic-related fatalities. One of these fatalities included one of our law enforcement officers with GPD, Officer J. Franks. As we light the tree, the bulbs on the tree will reflect him or honor him. It'll be illuminated in with blue. We appreciate Officer Frank's sacrifice to our community. 61 other citizens have also died from traffic-related injuries. Each of these lives will be represented by a red light on the tree. So far this year in Guilford County, 6 women ranging in the age from 21 to 85 years of age have died from domestic violence. You will notice our tree has more than 6 purple lights. 6 lights represent these women whose lives were shortened from violence. The remaining purple lights serve as a reminder to those or to us that may have seen other people that go through daily sacrifices from domestic violence. The purple glow from our tree represents those families that are suffering in need of prayer and our assistance. Finally, there were 4 confirmed drug overdoses just in the county this year. The Guilford County Sheriff's Office is working hard against the enemy that has taken lives, destroyed families, and results in much crime in our community. The 4 lights on the tree represents our county residents who also leave loved ones to mourn their passings. We will have special speakers, including Deputy Gant, who will now come and actually talk about the safety traffic accidents that we've had going on.
Good afternoon. The Greater Guilford County DWI Task Force has held the daunting task of getting impaired drivers off our highways since 2012. Its officers are all passionate and committed to keeping Guilford County safe. While a fender bender may sometimes seem inevitable, driving while impaired, distracted driving, and not wearing a seatbelt is 100% preventable. Through continued strict enforcement and education, I firmly believe we can eliminate serious injuries and fatalities on our roadways. In 2018, there were 1,445 traffic fatalities in the state of North Carolina. Guilford County ranked third in the state with 62 fatalities and 109 reported serious injuries. The top causes for fatal crashes included lane departure, intersection-related, unbelted motorists, alcohol and drug impaired driving, speeding, and distracted driving. Also, the number of fatal crashes involving a motorcycle doubled. There were 626 total alcohol-related crashes reported, which accounted for 14 fatalities. This year, the number of fatalities is down to 56, and the number of serious injuries is down to 79, but the busiest travel season is still ahead of us. Any casualty is a heartfelt loss to our community. This year, the Guilford County DWI Task Force was comprised of both Sheriff's Office deputies and officers with the High Point Police Department. Despite being short-staffed, we have continued to make traffic safety our utmost priority. We host and participate in license checking stations, seatbelt saturations, and booze it and lose it DWI checkpoints. We plan and conduct these enforcement activities in areas where fatalities and serious injuries are most likely to occur. On October 1st, 2019, the Governor's Highway Safety Program approved the Greater Guilford County DWI Task Force grant for another year. The Governor's Highway Safety Program has funded the DWI Task Force for the past 8 years and is committed to supporting the task force in its future endeavors due to its recognized success. Sheriff Rogers recently approved 2 additional DWI Task Force positions, which we anticipate will be filled soon. These positions are funded for 4 years under a newly implemented grant. The DWI Task Force would like to thank Sheriff Rogers for his continued support and guidance. The Governor's Highway Safety Program, the Guilford County Traffic Safety Task Force, which includes all Guilford County law enforcement agencies and state law enforcement agencies, for their relentless efforts in combating impaired driving on our roadways. The Guilford County District Attorney's Office for all the hard work they do, and Mothers Against Drunk Driving for standing by our side in this fight. Our goal is to eliminate fatalities on the roads in Guilford County, a pledge we take in partnership with NC Vision Zero, a collaborative initiative to eliminate roadway deaths in North Carolina. By moving over for emergency vehicles, buckling up, slowing down, not driving distracted, and not driving impaired, we will reduce the number of fatal crashes. The lights on this tree may symbolize those that are no longer here with us, but their spirits are still loved and will forever be missed by their family and friends, especially this time of year. It is essential to reach out and help those dealing with the loss by celebrating their life like we are, gathered here today. Thank you all for coming, and I wish you all safe travels this holiday season. At this time, I'd like to ask Director Katherine Johnson from the Family Justice Center to come on up.
Good to see you. Thank you. Death and loss is most significantly felt by loved ones and friends. We gather as a community to remember, to mourn, and to hopefully find hope and healing that can be offered when we are gathered together. While we are all sustained by different pathways, faiths, and beliefs, I believe we are tied together by hope. Hope brings light in the darkness. It's a place when we can turn when all other places are dark. Hope is a word that we use often at the Family Justice Center. The Family Justice Center is a one-stop shop for victims of domestic violence, sexual violence, child abuse, and elder abuse. Our partnership of over 15 agencies work together to provide consolidated and coordinated safety, legal, social, health services to individuals and families in need. The FJC was established in part due to our community's high statistics for domestic violence-related homicides. In 2013 and in 2014, our county led the state with these deaths, something we are not proud of, but also something that we learned from and made significant strides to change. Since the opening of the Family Justice Center in Greensboro in 2015 and in High Point in 2018, we have seen a dramatic reduction in the number of domestic violence-related homicides. However, one life lost is one too many. This year, Guilford County had 6 domestic violence-related homicides, 3 involving intimate partners, and 3 involving an adult child killing their parent. We remember Tontoria, Mary, Nakia, Mamie, Shimona, and Jean. They were mothers, daughters, sisters, friends, neighbors, and members of our community. We owe it to them to continue our work together. We must be grounded by a shared mission to make our community a safer place for all, and we can do this through honoring and remembering the lives of those lost, being accountable to survivors in this community, and by having a shared commitment to charting a new pathway. As the Family Justice Center Director, I have the opportunity to work with survivors from various programs and services. In 2019, to date, our centers have served over 10,500 individuals and families. Sometimes my work includes working with homicide survivors, family members who know most the price that is paid by losing someone they love to domestic violence, parents who've lost their children, children who have lost their mothers. These families work hard to put the pieces back together, to make meaning out of senseless crimes, and to treasure the lives lost of their loved ones to ensure their family legacy continues. We are on the journey with them. While navigating life after losing someone to homicide is painful and difficult, I have seen the power of resiliency in survivors. I know survivors find ways to dig deep and find that brave voice and use their pain to fuel their purpose. Survivors give hope and find hope through love. Even in the hardest times, they find light in the darkness. During this giving season, may we give the gift of life, the gift of light, the gift of kindness, the gift of listening, but most importantly, the gift of hope. Our prayers and thoughts and commitment to families remain. Thank you.
At this time, I have Chase Holloman to speak with you.
Good afternoon. I'm glad that we can all be here to pay tribute to those that we have lost from family violence, from traffic accidents, and from overdose deaths. I'm here to talk about the latter. Unfortunately, I can't provide you the statistics for how many we've lost in all of Guilford County this year to drug overdose death. Because it's so bad, there is a backlog at the medical examiner's office. There has been consistently for the past few years. I can tell you that in 2018, we lost 102 people to overdose poisoning. And I'd like to offer a little hope around that. My name is Chase Holloman. I'm a social worker and a clinical addiction specialist. But I have another identity. I'm a person in long-term recovery. And for me, that means I haven't used alcohol or other drugs since May of 2013. And I share that to offer hope to those out there that are living with a substance use disorder that do not know that there's another option out there. I've overdosed multiple times myself and been able to find recovery. And to offer more hope, I'm excited to share about our program, Guilford County Solutions to the Opioid Problem. We're a partnership between Guilford County and UNC Greensboro. We work together with the Sheriff's Office and with Guilford County Emergency Services, where we actually go out with an off-duty deputy to follow up with people who have overdosed in our county and meet them and offer them some hope. 1, to meet someone that's done it before, that's been there. 2, to offer them an avenue toward treatment or to other resources. I can share a story at least of hope, and that's, I'd like to tell you about a guy named Tony. Tony overdosed this year. Me and Sheriff Deputy Harold Farlow went out to go visit him. And I believe Tony knew we were coming. He was peeking out the blinds as soon as we pull up. And I walk out there and he comes outside and he says, "I know why y'all are here." And I said, you do? He said, yeah, it's about the incident the other day, but I'm doing great. I'm doing fine now. Now, my intuition and clinical impression was Tony was not doing fine. But we talked anyways, and he kept shaking my hand. You know how you do when someone wants you to leave. And Deputy Harold Farlow gave me a hard time about that. And one has to wonder what would happen to someone like Tony. I don't hear from him for a few days, but a few days later my phone rings and it's Tony, and he says, man, I've been sleeping on the porch of this abandoned house for the last 3 days, and I couldn't stop thinking about when y'all came to see me. I'm willing to do whatever. I want some help. Tony's still doing well today, and I still talk to him on a regular basis. We've made a lot of progress with folks that have overdosed in our community that have been privileged enough to live through it. I know that out of the people we've been able to contact in Guilford County, 61% of them report being abstinent since the last time we talked to them. That's 61% of the people who've overdosed are now living in abstinence and living in recovery, because us and the sheriff's office were able to go visit them. We've also partnered with the sheriff's office to go into the jails, because we know that people in jail the first week after release are at 40 times risk for overdose death than when they're not. So we go into the jails and we have groups and we do individual interviews and talk with folks in there. We're working on a post-release naloxone program where we can give folks naloxone, which is the drug that reverses an overdose. We're working hard with the sheriff's office and with Guilford County EMS to stop this overdose death crisis. Overdose death is completely preventable, and it's something that we aim to bring to zero. We should not have anyone die from overdose in our community. But most importantly, today I do want to honor those that I've lost. Personally, I've lost more than I can count, friends and family, to overdose death. All of us know someone that has a family member, or we have a family member ourselves, that has died from an opioid overdose. It's become far too common, and today I hope that we all can remember them, not just as a statistic, not as a number, but as someone's family member, someone's brother, their sister, their father, their son. It affects everyone, and it affects our family, and it's our community. So anyways, I'll turn it back over to the sheriff now. Thank you.
Thank you, Chase. At this time, we'll have Officer Gant, who will come and light the tree in the remembrance of our family and friends of 2018.
This time I'm going to read the names. You may follow along on the back of your programs. Montavious Jared Robertson, Mohammed Saeed Rashid, Curtis Ronald Swearingen, Mary Folks, Ashley Irene Combs, Early Arthur Hedgecock Jr., Raymond Tillman Patterson Jr., John Sidney Austin, Marshall Lance Cox, James Toby Cooley, Dennis Dean Cusera, Tontori York, Damian Antonio Alvarez, Param Rahul Patel, Ranak Rahul Patel, Isaiah Neal, Timothy Darren Brown, Jesus Zuleta Garcia, Gary Thomas Johnson, Joe Bill Moose, Anthony George, Sam Maya Mangar, Jonathan Thomas Bost, Robert O'Brien Bradshaw, Eric Laverne Dalton, Marsteller Thomas Armstrong, Alvin Ernest Capstick, Marcella Gabrielle Richwood, Kia Ann Jackson, Avery Hill Glidewell, Cameron Mitchell Gould, Timothy Lamont Kellum, Lucretia Antoinette Beasley, Wanda Denise Farrington, Joanne Pascal Mansfield, Mary Purtle Stewart, Byron O'Neill Slade, James Allen Lyon, Gaston Coy Underwood, Carlos Devon Patterson, Tasha Tanganyika Nowlin, Iben Mufed Dixon, Allison Abby DeWitt, Mammy Martin, Nakia Williams, Richard James Hobson, Joey DeWeese, Michael Devon Goins, Chelsea Capri Scott, Ricky Wayne Johnson, Tiffany Lynn Hall, Guy Eugene Patterson Jr., Joshua Lynn Dean, Shamana Mosley, Donald Lee Sanders II, Gregory Jason Pitty, Jean Elizabeth Ransom, Ophelia Guadalupe Paredes, Jarrett Dallas Jackson, Wesley Brian Klein, Carl Lee Teasley, James K. Bankston, Jared William Franks, Rodney DeWong Maynard Jr., Tyreek Quinn Anthony Day, Cameron Andrew May, Gene Oxley, Kendrick Darren Edwards.
At this time, this concludes our program. We ask you, if you will, to continue to keep those family, friends, and loved ones in prayer and in your memories. I pray a very Merry Christmas to you all and a happy holiday season. If you will, the program has ended and we have refreshments here for those who like to stay for refreshments. Thank you all for coming out.